Hey, what's going on, guys? Just kind of drawing here. Figured I'd make another video. Maybe I'll show you it at the end. Once I find a better camera with a stand or something, I may do more like in-progress videos. For now, I'll just kind of record as is, and I'll figure it out as I go along. So hopefully you can hear these sounds, and maybe that'll be relaxing for you. And I figured while I was just kind of doodling here, I'm not really an artist. I just draw like abstract designs, and I will like color it in and fill out the shading, but nothing too serious or complicated. But while I was doing this, I figured I could talk about the things that interest kind of got me into drawing. That's not too bad. That's considerably quieter. I hope that's pretty nice for you guys. And in about 5th grade, so 10 years old, I had just moved states, and so I had met a new friend who was so good at drawing at 10 years old that he inspired me to kind of get into it myself. But I've never been, I just do it for fun, you know? But in drawing, there's, I think, a natural interest towards all things like animated. And one of my particular interests are like Shonen series, particularly One Piece. Maybe you guys have heard of it. And maybe you think it's just like silly comic book stuff. It doesn't matter. I think it's amazing. And the author of the series is Eiichiro Oda. It's a comic book about pirates, and they go around doing I don't know, pirate things. They just live for freedom and all that. It's really fun. It's really fun. And the premise of the show actually makes for a very interesting, main character. The protagonist of the series, he's a pirate, but he does good things. So it kind of flips the roles of good and evil on its head. And so even though it's a comic book, it's really fun to parse out the motives of the characters within their universe. There's a lot of philosophy there. Where how one's desire for individuality and a simultaneous desire for belonging and order and the author explores it in the most fantastic way. If you haven't checked it out, I really recommend it. But my friend at the time, who was really good at drawing, he really liked that series. We would get it was called a Shonen Jump. We would get them from the Scholastic book orders. They came once a month or something. That might have been pretty loud. And he used to try to get me into the series. And I didn't quite like it. I liked, for a little bit I liked Naruto and Shaman King. There may have been a few others in there that I liked, but Shaman King and Naruto were the ones that immediately stick out in my memory. But as I got older, I was about 20 years old. I had just got my first apartment on my own. And I started, spending much more time alone. I just didn't have to share my space. And to fill that time, I guess I got back into, what do they call that? It's a series with consecutive episodes, long-running series. And I saw that this One Piece show had 700 episodes at the time. So, well, this is perfect for me. And I remembered that I hadn't seen it and I hadn't heard of it in about a decade. It's like, wow, I can't believe I didn't like this when I was younger. It's so fun. It's so fun. What I really like about it is it shows if you have a dream, ambitions, or aspirations, it really shows you the lengths. In granted, it's a cartoon, it's a comic, but the author chooses to address these themes, and I think that's cool. And it shows you the lengths or the stakes it takes if you have high aspirations or high ambitions. The drive you need to carry it through. And I was talking earlier about how it flips good and evil on its head. And so, it's not really a spoiler, but if you don't want any information on the series, turn it down for maybe 15 seconds. But the main antagonist of the series gives one of the most inspiring speeches, where he says, the age where pirates dream of treasure will come to an end? Yeah, right. A man's dream will never end. And it's a small bit of the speech, and when you watch the whole thing and you hear the music in the background, it just kind of makes the hair on your neck stand. And the fact that it's the bad guy, and he's talking to the main character, and he's giving this inspiring speech about dreams and ambition, it really just kind of makes you just cock your head to the side because you're not sure what to think about it. And that's why I love it. That's why I love it. And even though they're pirates, they're everywhere they go, they end up helping the people they meet. And it's just with the main character's crew and a few crews that he chooses to interact with. So I think that's another really interesting aspect about the show. And I've said, I'm no artist myself. But I found that, I make alright doodles. They're not spectacular at all. But I found that, like, sticking with them, once I've finished a kind of a design, they don't end up like, I don't want to say that they're good by any measure, but after I've put a little, like, care into the art, I want to say it looks just a little bit better. I don't know. I'll show you guys what I had started working on my last video, and then I'll show you what I've been working on during this video. So if you've made it to the end of this, I'm about to lift my phone up, and it might be pretty bright because of the camera. So here's a fair warning. Oh, well, maybe I'll just stop the video and see if I can't upload a picture. There's a jet coming and I want this to be a good ending. Thanks for listening, guys. See ya.